What if the world you trust suddenly folds open like a trap? The Watchers, a 2024 film, is a fairy tale turned nightmare. A story about identity, isolation, and the terrifying idea that someone or something is always watching. In a forest that plays by its own rules, 4 strangers are trapped inside a glass room called the Coop. Every night, shadowy creatures arrive, and not to hunt, not to feed, but to watch. Let's dive into the secrets hidden inside Ireland's darkest woods and uncover what it truly means to be seen. Meet Mina, a young American woman living in Ireland, running from a past she refuses to face. Her life is a loop, working in a pet shop, drinking alone, avoiding connection. One day, she's asked to deliver a rare parrot to a buyer hours away. The drive is long, empty, strangely quiet. When her GPS cuts out, she takes a narrow detour through a forest so dense that sunlight barely touches the ground. Her car breaks down. She steps outside, calling for help, but the trees absorb her voice, and from that moment forward, the forest begins watching her. She walks deeper, searching for a signal, but instead finds a strange concrete structure covered in moss. Inside, a door slams behind her. The sun falls, and the nightmare begins. Mina finds herself inside a bunker-like room with one enormous wall of glass. Waiting inside are 3 strangers: Madeline, the oldest, calm but cryptic; Daniel, intense and paranoid; Chiara, fragile and grieving. Madeline tells her the rules. Rule 1, leave before dark. Rule 2, be inside the coop at night. Rule 3, when they come, do not hide, do not fight, just let them watch. The glass wall reflects the room like a mirror, but it has another purpose. At night, the Watchers arrive. Mina doesn't believe her until the lights cut out. The forest goes silent. Shadows appear on the other side of the glass, tall, twisted, moving like broken puppets. Their arms stretch. Their faces press against the glass. They don't break in. They simply observe. Mina stands frozen as the creatures lean closer, fascinated by her. Once morning comes, the creatures vanish, leaving only footprints in the dew. The forest, once ominous, looks normal again, too normal. Madeline explains that the forest is alive, intelligent, and deceptive. Trails change, paths loop, time bends. Many wanderers have tried to escape. None succeeded. Every night, the Watchers come to see their human captives, as if the coop is a theater, and they are the audience. As the days pass, Mina learns the routine: forage for food in safe daylight zones, repair the coop, stay polite, keep spirits up. But Mina is different from the others. She hates captivity. She hates the idea of being watched, and the Watchers know it. They begin to take a special interest in her, tapping on the glass, mimicking her movements, returning again and again to her reflection, almost like they recognize her. Chiara is the gentlest one in the group, but she carries the heaviest grief. Her husband was trapped in the forest with her years ago. One night, he panicked and ran. They found his body the next morning, posed like an art piece, his eyes hollow, his limbs arranged as if the Watchers were studying anatomy. Chiara keeps his wedding ring on a chain. She whispers to his memory when she thinks no one is listening. Mina starts to bond with Chiara, and in doing so, finally sees the forest, not just as a prison, but as a wound that never healed for these people. But Daniel senses Mina's rebelliousness and hates it. If you try to escape, he warns, you'll get us all killed. His paranoia simmers, and the forest listens. Mina begins noticing odd things. The Watchers don't walk, they glide. Their skin shifts color like camouflage, and when she looks closely at their reflections, she sometimes sees human shapes buried inside their monstrous silhouettes. One evening, after the Watchers leave, Mina discovers a hidden hatch under the coop, a ladder leading into the earth. She climbs down and finds tunnels, ancient and branching, carved with symbols, faces, doors too small for humans. A mural shows creatures watching humans through a window, over centuries, as if this ritual has been happening forever. Mina realizes the Coop isn't a prison. It's a stage, and the watchers aren't predators. They're audience members. "Why us?" Mina whispers. A whisper answers back in the dark, repeating her voice perfectly. Mina flees, heart pounding. Whatever these things are, they learn. One night, Daniel snaps. He tries to attack the watchers with a metal rod. The creatures recoil at first, then press their bodies against the glass harder than ever. Their faces distort, stretching like clay. Cracks creep across the window. Madeline screams, "They're angry! Run to the back!" But it's too late. The glass buckles. A watcher's arm slices into the Coop like a blade. Daniel is pulled out, his scream muffled instantly. The others huddle together, trembling. Then, as suddenly as it began, the watchers leave. Daniel's body is returned at dawn, rearranged like a doll. A message. Mina stares at the forest, something burning inside her. Fear is no longer enough to keep her still. She decides to escape. Mina gathers evidence from the tunnels. She studies their symbols, their habits, their patterns. The watchers mimic what they see. They copy, adapt, reflect. She realizes, if humans are the performers, the watchers depend on them. Maybe they don't want humans dead, just observed. But if humans break the ritual, the forest breaks them. Using her knowledge, Mina leads Ciara and Madeline through the tunnels at night, a dangerous gambit. The watchers follow, crawling, sniffing, whispering her name. Mina reaches a sealed door carved with ancient marks, a door leading upward. Ciara begins to break down, terrified the ritual demands someone stay behind. Madeline reveals the final secret. The watchers used to be human, twisted by isolation, worship, and imitation. Mina stares into the darkness and whispers, "Not me." She forces the door open, screaming for the others to climb. Light floods in, real daylight. The watchers screech behind them, burning in the sun. They flee into the open world. The Watchers is a film about identity, how we become reflections of what surrounds us. The Coop is society. The Watchers are expectations. Humans behave because someone is always watching. Mina, who begins the film hiding from her past, ends by refusing to be defined by the eyes around her. Daniel becomes what the forest fears most: rebellion without understanding. Ciara becomes a symbol of grief, repeating itself. Madeline? She knew the truth and hid it, because facing the forest was easier than facing her guilt. The Watchers themselves are metaphors. They copy, they judge, they reshape human behavior. Just like society. And their biggest fear is that humans will stop performing, stop complying, stop being predictable. Mina wins not because she fights harder, but because she refuses to play the role assigned to her. In a way, the forest collapses the moment she stops being watched and starts being seen by herself. The Watchers is a modern fairy tale nightmare, poetic, unsettling, and layered with meaning. It reminds us that sometimes the most terrifying prisons are the ones built from attention, expectation, and fear. And the only way out is to stop performing. Thanks for watching The Pulse Movie. Subscribe for more cinematic mysteries, psychological thrillers, and dark modern fairy tales explained one heartbeat at a time.